Welcome to today's market report.
Wall Street stocks soared while U.S. Treasury yields fell on Friday after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell indicated the U.S. central bank could begin scaling back its bond buying program by year-end, but did not give a firm timeline. Powell's much-anticipated speech was non-committal on the precise timing of the Fed's bond tapering, unlike earlier remarks by several regional Fed presidents who wanted tapering to start soon. At the Fed's annual Jackson Hole, Wyoming conference, Powell expressed caution about raising interest rates as the Fed tries to nurse the economy to full employment and would avoid chasing transitory inflation. Fed Vice Chair Clarida echoed Powell's remarks on Friday, saying he believed that the central bank could begin tapering later this year. Following Powell's speech, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq closed at record highs for the fourth time this week, driven by stocks in technology, communications, consumer discretionary, and financials. The yield on the benchmark 10-year U.S. Treasury note fell to 1.3104% after Powell's remarks. According to Future Fund LLC, the market's pretty much anticipated this. The market has been making a new high every single day and week, and it needs low rates to perform. The MSCI World Equity Index rose 0.72%, while the Pan-European Stock 600 Index gained 0.43%. Overnight in Asia, the MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan rose 0.25%, capping its best week since February. The Fed is also aware that they cannot raise rates aggressively, and inflation does seem transitory as the economy opens up and things get back in gear. Oil prices increased more than 2% and were on track for their biggest weekly gains in over a year as energy companies began shutting production in U.S. Gulf of Mexico ahead of a major hurricane expected to hit early next week. Brent futures rose 2.3% to settle at $72.70 per barrel. WTI crude rose 2% to settle at $68.74 per barrel. Gold futures was up 1.47% to $1,818.70 per ounce. On the FX front, the GBP-USD pair rose sharply on Friday and extended weekly gains. It is about to end the week hovering around 137.65, up almost 150 pips from a week ago. A sharp decline of the US dollar across the board boosted GBP-USD on Friday that reversed sharply from a multi-day low at 136.79 to the highest since August 18th at 137.80. The speech from the Fed Chair Jerome Powell at the Jackson Hole Symposium left the dollar vulnerable. He signaled some tapering before the end of the year, proving no specific timeline. There has been clear progress towards maximum employment, said Powell. Powell's comment boosted equity prices and US bond yields pulled back. The mentioned combination weighed on the US dollar. According to FX Street, on the upside, some resistance is at 137.70, a late August high. It is followed by 138.10, which is where the 50-day and 200-day SMAs are bound to meet. More importantly, 138.95 capped cable in mid-August and defends the psychologically important 140 level. The euro-dollar reversed sharply from 117.34, jumping to 117.98 after the release of the Fed Chair's speech. The dollar index reached weekly lows near 92.70. The decline of the dollar boosted the euro-dollar that is about to test the 118 area. A break higher could lead to more gains. The next resistance stands at 118.30, followed by 118.45. After minutes of the Fed's policy-setting meeting in July were released last week, the dollar advanced because most market participants anticipated tapering to begin this year. Powell was clear to detach tapering from the rate lift off or raising interest rates. He was very clear to delineate that, according to analysts. The dollar fell as market participants sharply lowered expectations for the Fed's long-term tightening trajectory. According to Cambridge Global Payments, the dollar began to retreat about 15 minutes before Powell spoke, after James Bullard, president of the St. Louis Fed, reiterated his hawkish view that tapering should begin soon and end by next year's first quarter. The Canadian dollar rose 0.56% to 126.
This is today's market news. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.